Okay, good afternoon. Thanks for joining us today for another one of our discipline dialogue sessions. My name is Mark Schneider. I am the AVP of K-14 Academic Initiatives and Support for AVIT Community College. I help at a statewide level, coordinate all of our dual credit programs and pathways to completions, and just kind of everything on the academic side of the house. Joining me today is Jason to talk some automotive things, dual credit. Jason, you want to take a minute here and introduce yourself?
Sure. I'm Jason Allen. I'm the program chair of automotive here in Lafayette and been working for the college for about 13 years. So just glad to be here.
Yeah, we appreciate him being here. One of our great program chairs across the state. Of course, any dual credit instructor, if you do have questions, concerns, usually the best point of contact to, or initially at least reach out to, is your local program chair. That person will have a lot of the answers that you'll be seeking out, at least from the college's side of, in the academic side of all the course content that you'll have. But of course, myself, from a statewide perspective, Jason, I'm also very happy to help out as well. So Jason, kind of keeping that in mind, for our dual credit instructors watching this recording, what would you say are some of the best practices that you've seen, either from dual credit instructors themselves and dual credit classes, or maybe some on-campus best practices that you utilize that a dual credit class would benefit from?
I think one of the most valuable pieces of automotive training is competency-based curriculum. So not only do we talk about it, but we have to see them doing it and doing it successfully to make it a passing grade. With that competency model, most of us know that them being in the field, they're not going to maintain that job if they can't do it. So we need to really make doing a practical part of what we do in automotive, truck, and even aviation.
um, Kind of keeping that in mind and like some of those hands-on experiences. This is kind of varied depending on the program. Some of our liberal arts areas, they don't really have much in this area. Some CTE programs do have a lot of these opportunities. But are there any professional development opportunities our dual credit instructors could utilize either this coming summer or over the course of the school year, whether it be something on campus at a Ivy Tech campus, or maybe like a third-party provider, could be like a website or a webinar, or a regional conference, anything like that?
Yeah, that's a great question. So this year we're blessed to have NACAT, it's North American Council of Automotive Teachers. Their national conference is in Indianapolis this year. So usually we got to travel quite a ways. It's southern Indianapolis, I guess, Greenwood area. But we'll be blessed to have that here. That provides all 20 hours of the required technical training to maintain credentialed through ASC Education Foundation. So if you're looking for a good bit of training and other instructors that are also teaching automotive, look up NACAT conference. I believe it's in July in Indianapolis this year. So it's going to be great.
Yeah, that's really interesting. And if you have any links with that, send them to me later. And then with the calendar invite, I can attach that to our calendar invite for the Zoom meeting and send it out to the whole state to make them aware. Considering automotive, a lot of things in flux in the automotive industry, around EVs and different technologies, things like that. Is there anything in particular, a hot topic, something, and maybe it's within the courses themselves, new course objectives, anything like that, anything new that should be made aware of for our dual credit instructors?
Yeah, so you've probably started to notice more hybrid and electric and full electric vehicles coming into the market. So this year's hot topic, I felt necessary to discuss high voltage safety. It's going to become a key part of everything we do in automotive. So look forward to seeing that this fall, where I'm going to discuss the necessity of high voltage gloves, what we expect your students to know. So when they come to us, they're prepared, as well as how do they disable a high voltage system so that they can service it safely. So look forward to that this fall in the dual credit training.
Yeah, that'd be a great topic there for everyone. Um, Another question or area, we've had a lot of dual credit instructors and also administrators reach out over the last year around textbooks and things that could be used in place of textbooks. There's a textbook fee cap now in the state of Indiana for high school or for all K-12 schools. And so a lot of dual credit instructors and high schools and career centers are eager to try to find ways to provide that same material that's available in a textbook, but maybe that's available for free on the web or some other location. Do you know or have any of these items that a dual credit instructor might be able to utilize?
So we have put some free resources, mainly YouTube links for you to use in your courses, and that's embedded also in that dual credit training. But as far as textbooks go, our accrediting body, the ASC Education Foundation, requires us to use a textbook that's recent within the last 5 years, meets certain standards. So unfortunately, we stick to textbooks that are published by, I think a few of them are Jones and Bartlett with the CDX group, and Cengage, still using MindTap to make up some of those hours so that we can remain master accredited through the ASC Education Foundation. So unfortunately, I wish I had better news on that front.
Yeah. Well, it's not your fault. And yeah, in some programs, I mean, we're in a lot of cases, we're kind of beholden to accreditation standards, and we have to do what we have to do. So, oh, that's good to know, though, if anyone does ask about that. I will put in the chat for anyone, and this should, I believe, appear on the YouTube page. We'll put it in the comment section as well, or the description below, a link to the syllabi folder. In the past, what we've had for our dual credit courses is just a generic syllabus template that could be used by any of our dual credit instructors. We have 5,000 instructors, some nearly 400 different courses that could be offered. And so alphabetically, accounting 101 is first, and then like welding 278 is last, or something along those lines. And this template would be used for all of those courses that we offered for dual credit. So in a way to try to minimize some friction and issues that pop up every once in a while with the syllabi, we're designing course by course syllabi templates. So if you want to, for your automotive classes or aviation or whatever it might be, there, everything in this template will be ready for you to go, except for those things that are very unique and dependent upon what you're doing and you as an instructor. So like you'll have to put in your own name, your email, those types of things. And then the thing that will probably require the most amount of time is that calendar, how you're going to, sequence events, and your calendar and school schedules, somewhat unique compared to what other districts do. And if you're on block scheduling and this, that, and the other thing. So you will have that thing right there. But, sometimes we've run into issues with like grading scale discrepancies and or maybe like the wrong kind of language for something that's required legally one way or the other. So we're working on that. I'll put that in the chat. Jason, I don't know if you have any comments around that, very well, might just be like, they're in there, take advantage of it.
So the templates are a great starting point for your syllabus. I would also encourage you to put any shop rules in there. That way students have an expectation when they enter the shop. They should already have a standard of what's expected in the lab. Feel free to add as much detail to that course calendar as possible. The feedback I've received here at the college about course calendars is the more detail you provide that student, the better prepared they're going to be for what's coming along. So really utilize this tool to make your course all that it can be.
Yeah, that's a great point there. Also want to remind, kind of going along those same lines, you can put your syllabus and those YouTube videos that were mentioned and some of those other resources that might be available through Ivy Learn and the Commons. Every dual credit course is provided a course shell that a dual credit instructor can utilize if they choose to. Of course, you can always use whatever your platform is in the high school. You can use that in the place of it. But we do have a course shell that's available for every section. Sometimes our instructors will use the Commons and pull things from there into the course shells for them to use. But do just keep that in mind. We do get questions every once in a while. Why isn't my dual credit class pre-populating with all the stuff that's like with the on campus material and the on campus section? And the reason is because dual credit courses are being taught for free. And so because there's not that financial model behind it and the the budget with it, all those things that are offered in an on course or on campus course or tuition backed would probably be a better way to describe it. All those copyrighted materials and other things, kind of the embedded technology, things like that, that's paid for by tuition dollars, it can't be pulled into a dual credit course. So that does pop up from time to time. Jason, those are all of my topics right there. Is there anything else that you'd like to mention in closing before we end this session?
There is, in fact, I was going to bring this up. Trying to get it to where we can see it. Here we go. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. We just voted in this fall for reasons of quality. Can you see that screen? An update to ASOM, and this will include all dual credit instructors. Most of you have already been ASE certified. ASE is going through some changes I can share as well. But this should be added. It was voted in, and it should be added to fall 24, so the 24-25 school year, where that now in order to teach a class, you must maintain ASE certification to teach those classes. So that's full-time, adjunct, and dual credit instructors. So if you haven't had your ASE credentials renewed in a while, we need you to get that re-upped. And feel free to ask Ivy Tech. We have some money that we can help with, but that's region by region. So reach out to your program chair and they can share. So for instance, if you're going to teach an 100 intro to automotive or basic auto service course, you need to maintain a G1, the A6, and any other specialty. So in this one, it's just G1 and A6. And the reason we've developed this standard is the majority of the programs in the state are accredited by ASE Education Foundation. They require us to maintain this for accreditation. And in order for our students getting credit in high school, we need to have that same credential required in the high schools as they do at the college. So be looking for this coming in the coming ASOM for fall of 24. So that's one of the big ones. Other than that, I'm always willing to help out with anybody I can. So
we appreciate that, Jason. And I know you said each kind of campus or region has some dollars to help with those trainings. I think we have a grant that could probably statewide that we can tap into as well to help cover that for dual credit instructors specifically to help with that. So do keep that in mind as well. So if there's nothing else, Jason, I want to thank you for your time today. Also want to thank anyone watching this recording, all of our dual credit instructors. Usually teach dual credit out of the kindness of their heart. There's a lot of extra stuff that goes into becoming a dual credited teacher, and on top of being a regular high school teacher. And the extra work and the time that goes into it is largely a donation being made to those students, because you know of all the great benefits that's going to come to them from that. And that says a lot about you as a person, and as a teacher willing to go above and beyond to provide those opportunities for your students. So we appreciate that. We appreciate Jason joining today. And if you ever have any questions, just feel free to reach out to us. We'll look forward to talking with you and having a great another academic year for Ivy Tech dual credit.